Hello, everyone. We are here for another episode, and today I have with me Minerva, who is a spiritual guide. She is a former talent manager who spent over a decade behind the scenes helping dancers and artists build their dreams. After going through her own awakening and deep healing, she felt called to walk the path of indigenous shamanic initiations, one rooted in inner truth, ceremony, and service. And so today she supports leaders and creatives in reconnecting with their purpose, accessing deeper clarity, and aligning their lives and work with what truly matters. Her approach blends ancestral wisdom, intuitive guidance, and grounded spiritual practices to meet people where they are and walk with them towards who they're becoming. So, Minerva, hello.
Hello, Maisie. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to finally get to have this conversation with you, my little sister.
Yes, we are Leo sisters. In case anybody was curious, we do wear our crowns very well. Mine are back here. If you need to wear yours, we can absolutely do this for the show. So
Yes.
tell us more about you. Tell us what got you into spiritual guidance, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
All right. So, well, as you said, my journey started very far from spirituality, started in entertainment. So, something that is usually more ego-based, right? More performative. And from there, I always been curious and loving to learn more about the psyche, learning more about how people, humans work and what really drive their decision. And at the beginning was because I was very interested also in learning more about how successful people build what they build and what led them to become who they become. And what I came to realize is that most of them became who they became because they were driven from this energy that not most of the time is positive energy, but is an energy of I want to prove myself. I need to do this thing because this thing happened or these people expect this from me. And so that really led me in a path and really seeing, is there any way where we can have both peace and also being able to have that drive, to do more and to reach certain kind of achievements in our life. And it took me a while to get there because I see that there is a certain kind of fire that certain experience give us, most likely experience that are not that positive in our childhood, in our early life, that drive us to being overachievers and want to always want more, and that can easily become toxic. And I also fall into that category for a very long time. And then I really realized that that can last long term, that can eventually going to fire back somehow in your health, in your relationship, in your actual well-being and happiness overall. And so I really start to recognize the difference between external validation and internal actually success and happiness and well-being. And that's where my journey started, where me wanted to dig deep into this concept and really help people to achieve both at the same time.
I love that. And you went on your own shamanic journey to get there, correct? Tell us more about that.
Yes, I always look up at people that did it for themselves first before they were teaching it to others. So for me, the embodiment part is always been huge. And so I say, if I want to really help people with this, I need to first really find it for myself. And that led me to this very difficult decision at first, because I really left everything that I knew, everything that was feeling safe and secure. And then I started and went to the opposite side, and I did the most scariest thing for me, the most unsafe thing for me, the most weird thing for me. And I say, if I can do this, I can really come to the other side with both perspective, right? And I also see that life was doing it for me, quote unquote. It was slowly destroying everything I built in my life without me not be able to return to it, no matter what I was doing. And so I was like, okay, this is the path that wherever source, God, universe, whatever you believe in, want me to go. And so, yes.
So, how was that journey? Tell us some of the pieces that you went through. What were some of the awakenings that you were having as well?
Yeah, so as far as awakening, it's been one after another. Pretty much in initiation, you just go and you accelerate the death and rebirth process and the continuous evolving of your identity process. And so you kind of condense all those experiences that you would have in a lifetime in those few years that you decide to give yourself to these initiations. You decide to confront your fear, your shadow, the shadow aspect of yourself or your psyche, your inherited trauma, your ancestral trauma, your own traumas, and really see, okay, who am I when I integrate these, when I accept these, when I let this go. And so you kind of start to become more and more of who you really are, and also see more of that in other people, right? The more you accept and see of yourself, the more you're also able to see. And so you start to have a bigger picture of how you can help and support people that are going through the same things.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that. Who am I accepting these things and also letting go of these things? Because I think for a lot of people, our trauma becomes part of that identity. And it's like, oh, well, I have to play that victim mentality in order to still be considered to be a part of it, right? Because outside of it, I don't know who I am. Do you find that in some of your journey or even some of your coaching with your clients, do you find that to be a thing that you see people go through?
Absolutely. I was very much the victim of this is happening to me, why this is happening, and when this is going to stop. And the thing is that you keep attracting those experiences because the universe wants to show you that you can stop it anytime. You know, you can overcome it anytime. You can just elevate yourself in a way where you see things that what it is trying to show me showing about me, where is the opening that is attracting this kind of experience in my life, where I still need healing. And so I stopped see anything that happened to me, even the worst thing, as something that was happening to me, and actually, okay, this is actually happening. What can I do to transmute that, to heal that, to make a different choice so I can overcome this loop and this thing that it keep happening for me.
Yeah, that's something that I talk about with my clients too. It's like it's not happening to you as in against you. It's happening for you. We have to look on the other side. What is
Yeah.
the beauty behind this? And of course, this is where we say hindsight's 2020, right? And we get to look at that on the other side and it's like, oh, this was a good thing. But then also we can ask ourselves like, what now? Or what do I do with this information? How can I move forward from this?
Yes.
How can I create more acceptance in this? And I think when we ask those questions, it kind of puts us in this different mindset to get out of the victim mentality and move us into this queendom space,
Yeah.
that you and I've talked about, this queendom space of being able to magnify the beauty on the other side of those things. So I
Absolutely.
love that. I know whenever we first met and we were talking a little bit about plant medicine, you have a different kind of tools that you go through with your clients to help them on their healing journey. What are some of the tools that you did and some of the tools that you take your clients through as well?
So personally, I'm somebody that likes to try things before I even recommend it. So I will try all the things, honestly, all the plant medicine, ayahuasca, and then also different mushrooms, different plant medicine from South Africa, and then hape. These are the most common. But then I will decide what works for me and what I think that also can work for people in our in different wounds or different situation. However, everybody is completely different. So I always say, try for yourself and see what the medicine tell you. You know, the only way to learn is to ask the medicine and learn with the medicine. But yes, I've been always open on trying different things that could help me, support me. However, I'm very picky of who I choose, and we had also the conversation. I
Yes.
really look and study and see who the person is, how they embody, what are the result on their clients in the long term. So that if I can just recommend something, is not to even look at the plant or what the method, but more at the person that is doing it. So that I think is more important than even the medicine, you know. But yes, I've been definitely open to explore and see what was resonating with me. And especially when for me, it was mental health, when I had these issues and I wasn't able to fix it with, traditional medicine, it wasn't working for me. At that point, you really want to heal and you will be like, okay, let me try this thing here. Let me try this thing here. It's kind of like even coming from a desperation point at one point, but they'll lead you to explore and to learn more about yourself and about all the techniques that maybe you will then go and reach out if the regular traditional medicine, not traditional, because traditional is actually plant medicine, but I would say the Western medicine
Yeah,
will
yeah,
give you.
yeah. Yeah. And I know for so many people, like you talk about it through a desperation point, that's where most people get to, right? Like
Yeah,
we're tired of carrying this, we're tired of living the things. It's like, give me whatever I can to get out and quit living the same hell over and over and over, right?
yeah,
And I know even for myself in my own journey, my spiritual awakening, it was like, okay, this tool isn't working. What's another tool? And you're drawn to it. You get that
yeah,
intuitive hit, you're drawn to it, and it's like, what's this? Just like I was drawn to astrology, and I know you do astrology too, but you also do human design. So I know that's some of your tools that you use with your clients too. What are some of the things that you notice with your clients using human design or astrology? What are some of the pieces that you pull out that whenever you're in consult with somebody or a healing journey with somebody, what are those pieces that you're looking for that you can help them with on the healing side?
Um, yeah, so in human design also includes astrology, so I was able to put together the two. So one of the main things that I realize my clients really get from human design is the acceptance. And for example, for me, it was the main thing. I am a 1-3 in human design, which is all about trial and error. And for most of my life before I discovered human design, I thought I was failing at 10 things before I was able to make one right. And I was like, why is it taking me so much trial and error? And actually my 1-3 profile is all about trial and error, trying on yourself to be able then to give the recommendation to others. And so I had to reframe failure completely and be like, that's the way I operate. I will have to just have so many failure until I don't get to the winning point, quote unquote. And so that I have to remove and reframe that word in my life. Another thing would be like, why I get so obsessed from weird things and I start to go in the rabbit hole. And the 3 line is actually about the seeker, right? It's about going deep into the rabbit hole until you are satisfied, and then you go to the next thing and again and again. And that gives you the depth that you need, and then you're able to move on, and then you can master those little things, those little pockets that people maybe don't think about, and then you can help them with those things. But at first I felt it was weird. I was like, why am I not reading a book from from the beginning to
Yeah.
the end? Why I start all these books, and then when I'm tired, I start another one, and then I start to do all this research on YouTube videos about this topic, and then I realized that just how I am, and I start to accept it, and I integrate it in my life and use it as my superpower instead of seeing as weirdness or a weakness.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. See, I'm
Yeah.
a line 4 too. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
that connector with a lot of things. And I agree with the acceptance part because when somebody was telling me mine, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Of also why I do a podcast. And I'm like, let's connect people all around the world. So and it's been glorious to be able to connect people from so many different, phases of life and through their healing journeys and everything like that as well. I know also you do some nervous system recalibration, a lot of breath work with your clients and their journey. Tell us more along those sides of healing as well and how you incorporate those into your programs.
Yeah, so I think the embodied part and the body part is necessary in any healing process. You have to pass through the body, and you know that you're very strong at that. I know that. And but for me, the breath, I just went back again to the original, right? To the first thing, the most important thing that we need as humans is breathing, and it's something that nobody teaches how to do. Like we just have a shallow breath most of our life until we learn how to breathe. And sometimes we give it so much for granted until we, don't learn how to do all these practices that make us even appreciate and see how much power there is in the breath, how much you can just take in your energy and release with the breath, and that literally everything is about the breath. In any tradition, yoga, meditation, Buddhist culture, is all about the breath. That's the base of everything. And again, we don't have a school for that. Nobody teaches how to do that. And so I realized how much just with understanding that deeply, you can literally restructure all your body and the way you see things, your mind, your psyche, your awareness. And you can for sure help ascension and evolution with that. So it's been literally like going back to what really mattered. And that's the first thing, and that has been helping to understand that if your body is not ready even to receive new information, it's very hard for you, no matter how much you learn, how much you ascend, how much you are enlightened, but if you're not able to receive it, so it means your nervous system is not regulated and stretched enough to receive more, is going to keep being in survival mode, and you're going to keep going back and doing the same thing and going back in the same cycles. And so, yes, it's about learning more, getting more wisdom, doing all these meditation and things, but also training your body to accept all these upgrades that you're chasing.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true. It's like even when I tell my clients, typically when somebody comes to work with me, they're already dysregulated, right? None of the same as with you. They're coming to you because they're seeking something, in you that they're like, hey, I want this too. And, sometimes I'll tell a client, like, start with just saying the word slow down. Like,
Yeah.
just say it. You're gripping the steering wheel too hard. You're like more frigid when you're driving, or aggravated and snapping at your kids or whatever. Like, you've got those reactive responses. And even just saying the word slow down really shifts something in your brain. And you talk about the basics. I've had, even recently, had to go back to the basics on this, right? You and I were talking about this last time. It was just like, I need to come down to center because I'm falling back into old patterns and I'm noticing it. And I did a session with you and I loved that. That was wonderful. And I'm going to encourage you guys, go do a session with her. She is amazing. But she even pointed out those same things of like, are we falling back into people pleasing? And I was like, me? No, I got rid of that. And then I was like, there are some spots. And so but even going back to the basics, I even practiced with some of that over the weekend where I'm like trying to rush to get through the day, and it's like, slow down. Am I noticing? What can I pay attention that's around me? So there's so many different practices, and you're right. If your nervous system is wired and you're not, and you're dysregulated, you can't come down enough to be in that. It's like no amount of meditation, no amount of trauma healing or energy clearing or Reiki balancing or chakras or anything like that is going to work if your nervous system is so dysregulated. You might as well throw it out the window. I had one of my clients one time, she was like, clear her, just clear her energy. And I'm like, it's not going to work. Like I could do this all day long and she'll have a moment of relief, but she's not going to get the long-term effects because she's so frazzled. You're not going to, that's not how it works. So I love that you incorporate those same practices as well with your clients, because breath work is important. People who shallow breathe or hold their breath, like, breathe it all. You have to be able to breathe to have life. And so there's so much peace through those things too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, tell us more about your Inner Empire Ascension Pathways. I know you have that program, or tell us what programs you have and different things like that of how you connect with your clients.
Yes, so I would like to say that I realize in this business, everybody's so different, right? With my clients, we can create these systems, this program, but then everybody comes from a different, experience, different story, different ancestral also story. And so it's so hard to create a system that you can put everybody in. However, there are certain things that everybody gonna need to go through as human to decondition and free themselves from certain things that might have been happen to them. And so I try to really show them all the opportunities that they have to decondition with all the tools that I give them and support them with. But the main thing is for them to make a decision to shift their identity and to really let go and remember that your new the new you is going to cost you the old you. There is no way around. Like, we are doing all these things just for you to let go, for you to die easily, right? So you can rebirth in this new person that you want to be. Because we all want to be better. We all want to evolve. We all want the upgrade, but the hard part is not even that. The dreaming about it, the stepping into that is really about the letting go of that old version. And the more you are able to evolve and be open and fluid with that, that's why Bruce Lee, one of his main books was I Be Like Water, because that's literally what it is. If you can be like water, if you can adapt and how fast you can adapt and integrate things without taking it personally, without, I don't know, even, feeling like what is being told you, what it be asked for you to let go is about you having done something wrong in your past. The more you can let all that stuff go and really leave the past in the past and focus on what you want to be and what you want next for the rest of your life, that's when you grow. That's when the evolution comes easily. So it's literally a decondition problem. It's literally a letting go process. And it's literally like what matters today doesn't have to matter tomorrow for you to be able to go through this process with ease and really understand at what level you can achieve. So it's not about the thing, it's about how can I accelerate my transformation in becoming the person I want to become. And so that's infinite, right? Because you will always want more. Once you hit the 7-figure, you want the 8-figure, and then more and more and more until you build the legacy that you want. And so we try to focus on the legacy first. And so to be that person, you have to go through all the other steps. So having very clear who you want to be for the words once you pass. And again, it seems like we speak a lot about death, but because we need to get familiar with this concept. It's the only thing that is sure in life, right? When you're born, the only thing that you know for sure you're gonna die. You don't know anything else that's going to happen in between.
You're living to die. That's
Right.
it.
Exactly. So, I mean, also becoming familiar with that and then really what I want to live. And then when you have that values, that integrity with that vision, everything else fall into place. Everything else is already there for you. And it always been. And it's easy. And it's, because you have that strong vision, you are that person that want to leave that legacy. And so I feel the legacy piece, so the arrival, is the most important thing. And then we go backwards and we shift their identity until you become that person. And it's all about the ability to surrender, right? So I would say in this path, I come with you in the darkness, in the unknown. I hold your hand and I'm like, it's gonna be okay. I know it looks like a black hole and you don't know what's gonna happen there. You might die or I'm there with you, and it's gonna be okay. So that's pretty much what I do. I hope you explain.
Yes, you do. You do. And you did great. And we know it's so much easier said than done.
Yeah,
We talk about
absolutely.
surrender. Even in my call with you, you were like, surrender. And I was like, damn it, Minerva, like that is the hardest word that I have heard in my entire life. That let go. And I'm like, and my North Node is in Capricorn in the eighth
Yeah,
house. So making it let go is just not easy.
yeah,
But it does become easier over time. It's like an onion. We talk about trauma being like an
yeah,
onion. It's got layers. You're letting go of small layers over time. You're not going to you didn't become this person overnight. It took years of conditioning and experiences. It's going to take the same to become the person that you want to be. And you can get there faster when you start letting go of what the past made you and you start stepping in and evolving into the pieces that you want to be.
yeah,
We do a lot of the becoming That's something that I walk my clients through a lot of is stepping into and becoming. If you want to be calm, practice it.
Yeah.
There's no perfection. Everything is practice. You're never going to just 100% be calm because if you get pissed off, well, you're going to get riled up. That's okay. Like, let your feelings out. But we don't have to do it at the disadvantage of somebody else, or the reactive response where most people get to because of these past experiences.
Yeah.
So, I agree. There's so many different avenues and, ways of healing and things like that. And there's so many tools. Again,
Yeah.
astrology, you've got human design, you've got breath work, they're all tools, tapping, they're all tools, cards, they're all tools,
Mhm.
and I know you've got crystals and other things as well.
Mhm.
So it's pieces, but it's practice.
Yeah,
It's the only way we're going to get to where we're going to be.
exactly. Beautifully said.
There you go. So, do you have anything before we wrap this up? This was wonderful. Do you have anything that you want to share with everybody? Anything else you want to say? How can we work with you? What are some things that we could do?
Yeah, so I always recommend to book a shamanic divination first. I like to always share what comes intuitively from me, but I also like to involve always spirits and your guides and my guides in the healing process. And so I like to just be in a channel, see also what they want for you and for the people that I serve. And so I think that's the best way to start and see if that resonates for you and that's something you want to dig more deeper into after the first time. And so probably a shamanic divination would be the best first way to interact, or even a human design reading if that's your language and you prefer to see if that resonates for you. There's also some ways that I see clients being drawn to me. And yes, everything is in my Linktree slash Minerva Healing. However, I think any way that your spirit want to bring you to some healers or to some I will call ourselves also road opener, because we open roads for people. We kind of
Yeah.
clear, the path for them to keep walking it. I think is good. I think also for you, I don't know how it's for you, but any ways that they're led, I think is fair and is good for their path. So don't matter however you see me. Some people, they just see me on social media and they decide to just work with me. They're like, your experience, I had a similar story and you find a way to fix it that I didn't. So let me see if that I can also apply those tools. And that's also, I think, what connect me to you, right? I saw the way that you approach healing, going through the body and going through, really focusing on the stress points. And I can't wait to have this session with you. I will
Me
have a
too.
session with you. Yeah. So I think definitely the body part is important, is needed. No matter what is your technique, you have to go through the body. That's where the wisdom is. And that's why when I see that you were doing a body scan, that was the first thing, is like, okay, she really go to the root of it. You don't just try to ask.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just see where is the issue, and then that comes from this, and let's pull it at the root.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Look, and you and I both know there's so many intuitive healers and whatever they want to call themselves out there. And some of it's a bunch of hosh posh, some of it's pretty accurate, but not a lot of it is the embodiment piece. And I think
Yeah.
that's where sometimes they're missing that mark. And what drew me to you, honestly, colors. Your
Mm.
like on your website and everything like that. I was like, I love these colors. They're like, number one, they're gold. And I was like, she's got to be a Leo.
You
Spot
see,
on.
there are so many different ways that we can resonate with people. That's why it's hard to say what's the best way. I think, anyways. And then it was a beautiful connection from the first time we started speaking. So it was definitely aligned.
And y'all, she's amazing in her readings. If I could pull my notes, I had it like front and back page of notes in one of her sessions. I was like, tell me more. Now, I'm not going to tell you it was wonderful things all the time. There was some of it, and she's like, are you doing this? And I'm like, no, that would not. She'll give it to you real. That, and I love that. Because I can appreciate that. Don't give me the fluff parts. Like, be real and tell me, like, hey, bitch, you're doing this wrong. She's very loving with it, but she's an incredible woman to be able to connect with. I'm going to strongly encourage you guys to do a reading with her. If nothing else, start with a reading because you'll never want to leave after that. You'll become best friends with her at some point. So, yes, we will put your website up there and have just different ways for people to connect with you, have your link tree and all those. Go explore, go through different parts. Is there anything that you want to say before we leave, or do you want to, I don't know, what you got before we go?
I have just so much gratitude for you for what you're creating for women. I mean, women supporting women is still new, right? It feels like still, oh, finally we got it, and we are finally supporting each other the way we're supposed to. Yes, yes, that's what you're gonna get if you sign up to her program, right? Yes,
You do, you get your queendom. Look, I give every client a crown. It may
yeah.
not look like this, but everybody gets a crown.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And yes, I think that's, at the end of it, what we are trying to do is bring everybody together again, like we're supposed to be, bring oneness, really start to break the illusion that we are separate and there is difference between all of us. We are all here for the same reason. We're all doing our best. And so finding, again, a little sister, somebody that really gets it and do it with the heart and do it like so unconditional is really beautiful. And again, it still feels so refreshing and new. So I feel that everything you're doing need to be supported, and I will be one of your, I'm already your fan.
Yes,
So
I'm your fan. We're Leo fans. We can't help it. We have to
yes.
raise each other up.
So yeah, we are here to stay.
Yes, we are. We're stuck like glue. Well, we're definitely going to be bringing you back on. We're going to go a little bit deeper,
Yeah.
into different topics, different healing modalities and things that you do. Typically, the first time that we bring somebody in, it's always, that introduction point. Tell us more about you. How can we get connected? And then we'll continue to dive deeper. So, she'll be back for more amazingness. So, all right, ma'am. Well, guys, go in the description, go jump on her links. Definitely go book a session with her, if nothing else. She's incredible. You'll get a lot of insights and you'll get a lot of actionable steps too. We're still working on some of those. So we're wondering more about this water adventure we're supposed to be on. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But yeah, she's amazing. Go check out her links, go get connected with her, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Bye.